I'm Sean Donovan,
I'm Trevor Sorek.
and welcome to The Fine Cut. Today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the new one of the many new movies. Honestly, there's a lot of movies out this week, but we are going to be reviewing one of many that came out. The new Hunger Games movie, The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
What a mouthful.
It is a long title. Why didn't we do something like Thanksgiving, honestly? Like, I could have just said, the new movie Thanksgiving.
We can still talk about that one.
Later.
But we should talk about that one on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving episode.
Are we going to do that next week?
Not on Thanksgiving, no.
Well, yeah, it won't be like the Monday after Thanksgiving, but no, yeah, we're going to be...
It'll be mid-December, just like our Halloween.
Just like our Halloween. We
like a month and a half later.
Yeah, we do holidays 2 weeks later. We live on that schedule. But anyways, we'll be talking about that, of course, as well as, just some movie news. Nothing real. We didn't really have time to go out and see a lot of the movies that came out. There's a lot. Do you know how many movies came out?
3.
No.
25.
There is like 11 that's coming out in a span of a week.
Rapid fire, go off.
I don't have them all up. Give me, like, if you gave me a minute, maybe I'd get them all up. But, yeah, we're like, Hunger Games. We both read the books.
Yes.
Right? At least I read 2 of the books. You read all 3, I'm assuming?
I read the 3 original ones, but this one is based on a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel book that came out in, let me look up.
the year of our Lord and Savior, 2020.
Was it 2020?
That's what you said earlier.
I thought I read it somewhere.
I mean, unless you were making
released in May of 2020. It received a virtual launch due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's truly tragic.
So it had a 3-year turnover period from book to screen. So that's insane. But
I mean, nowadays that turnover is getting smaller and smaller most of the time.
Yeah, well, like, what was it? Dumb Money. We covered Dumb Money.
Dumb Money was like
a few weeks ago, and it's
less than 2 years.
Yeah, so
because like you got to factor in like the time like where they went into production.
Yeah, exactly.
Before they even make the movie.
So here is this is what came out this past week. Dream Scenario, the Nicolas Cage movie, was released in New York and LA. So it's having its limited run right now. Hunger Games, of course. Trolls Band Together.
The third one in
the third of the Trolls franchise. Which, have you seen any of the Trolls movies?
No.
I haven't either, so we're not covering that. Taika Waititi's new film, Next Goal Wins, but
yep.
Taika's been on a not great streak lately. So
Taika's got some interesting sound bites lately.
Yeah. Excuse me. Gosh.
The Casablanca guy, no one knows him. Yeah. I make real cinema, like Thor 4.
Oh my gosh, if he considers Thor 4 real cinema, he should not be considered a filmmaker then.
I mean, he did have a point. I don't know who made Casablanca.
Well, you know what? Unlike you and Taika Waititi, I actually know the director's name.
I can see you Googling it.
No,
right
I'm
now.
not. It's
like,
Michael Kurtz.
Okay.
Bro, come on. Don't you know Michael Kurtz?
I don't, but
the guy who made Mildred Pierce and
you made
The Adventures of Robin Hood as well as Casablanca.
You made a good point earlier. Back then, people were not overly concerned with who made a certain movie.
What did I say at dinner? I was like,
there weren't any film bros.
Yeah, there weren't any film bros.
The modern sense of the film.
No one really had cared about the whole celebrity, at least directors as celebrities. Because, Taika Waititi's, he's married to, Rita Ora and stuff. So, he's in the media. But also Thanksgiving came out this past week, as well as...
It's not Thanksgiving yet.
Why exactly. Why would we even cover it? And then the Please Don't Destroy movie. The little comedy trio that is on SNL. They have a movie. They had a movie that came out on Peacock, if you...
that's why I don't know about it.
But... that's so far that's what's released this past weekend, and we have a lot more coming up next weekend with Wish and Napoleon and Saltburn. It's gonna be insane, but we'll cover that.
Too many movies, too little time.
Literally, we will cover that next week. But before we jump into the good old talk on Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. You know, we always got to do it. Movie news. Actually, you know what? I didn't even ask you. How have you been, Trevor? I haven't really seen you since we recorded last.
It's been a good week, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
I have nothing to add further, to be honest, but you know.
Well,
yeah, no.
that's it. Just
nothing eventful,
nothing.
really.
All right.
Sorry
Well,
to disappoint.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, you have some slow weeks. You got any plans for Thanksgiving?
Yes, eat turkey.
I'm working. So,
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, it is, but but yeah, we'll go right into movie news. A few stuff up. We were talking about it. We went and saw Hunger Games. You know, mere few hours before we
Literally
recorded.
today.
Literally today.
We got some fresh takes today.
But
excited.
we were talking about all the movie news at dinner afterwards. But I don't know if you'd read some of this, but Dune 2, movie that you were very looking forward to this year.
The wait has been shortened.
Yes, it has moved
Is that a
up.
word?
Shortened. The
No,
wait has
like
been
shortened.
shortened.
Like you would
What?
eat like. Never mind.
I
was
just
gonna
think
say,
the
like-
wait has been shortened is fine.
You,
like
and biggin is a word.
what?
Like the opposite. Never mind.
I don't know. But no, that has moved up 2 weeks, so it's no longer releasing on March 15th. It's releasing on March 1st. Which I don't think anything else is releasing that day. Let me double check that. But we at least know that we'll be covering that when it comes to the March 1st episode, or would that be the 4th? That'd be the 4th, wouldn't it? Yeah, March the 4th's episode of the Fine Cut.
Dune.
No, it's the only one that's on for March right now. The next week though, it's gonna be Kung Fu Panda 4. So
What?
yeah.
Wait, I thought they already had a Kung Fu Panda 4.
No, they've only made 3.
Huh?
Yeah, they only had 3.
Are you sure?
Yes. I can.
First of all, the 4th one is coming out.
Yeah.
When is that?
March 8th.
I've not heard a single thing about it. It's Jack Black still, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jack Black's in it.
This is news to me. So
Well, there's some more movie news for you then, but
Well, yeah, I was also informed of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes
Yes,
today. And I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell?
Yeah, that
I
was-
didn't know that
I
was
think that
gonna be a
trailer
thing.
was released like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
It flew under my radar.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of the Planet of the Apes
Actually,
movies?
I kind of am.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be
well, I mean,
ready to see
so
that
like if we're
movie.
talking like the old ones, no, I think those kind of suck. To be
Oh,
honest.
wow, okay.
But the newer ones, yes, I think they're great. I think the third one of that little trilogy is the weakest.
I only saw the second one.
What
in
is that one, like
theaters.
War of the Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes?
I think it's Rise, Dawn, and then War. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they've been creative with their random word inserted into the title. But
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's the next one. So
we just referenced Caesar. It's something. One of our casts. The Whiplash eye shot, and then I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mentioned Caesar
Oh yeah, you mentioned that there was like a shot like that in
zooming in on
Rise.
his eyes.
Yeah.
Best eyeball shot in a movie belongs to.
Did we say?
I think
this
it's
one?
War of the Planet of the Apes. I think it's the third one. I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I like I said, I've only seen Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Get with the times.
Sorry.
That's all I gotta say.
Sorry. I went and saw that in theaters. I remember seeing it in the theater and then went, "Oh, that's cool."
I definitely didn't see any of the three in the theaters.
It was like prime time.
It's
for
funny
me to
because
go see a
I don't
movie like
think
that.
anyone's clamoring for like more Planet of the Apes movies, but like they're kind of good though.
Andy
like-
Serkis needs to keep in like
Andy Serkis
needs a
is
good paycheck.
He's a beast
Um,
on screen and in real life.
but some other stuff, of course. Did you hear? You know what? We might as well dip our toes into the MCU a little bit. Because the Marvels, we covered that
What
last
about
week.
it?
You who still haven't seen it yet.
No,
so
I decided that I do want to see it though.
yeah, you're gonna
eventually.
go see it. I at least sold you somewhat then from last week. But,
You didn't sell it that well.
Okay.
You're just kind of like, eh.
It's fine. But The Marvels was the lowest had the lowest opening box office
You can't see my face right now,
for
people, but
an MCU movie. So
I have an expression of shock on my face.
sure you do. But
No, that was a joke. I didn't have any shock because I'm
Wow.
not shocked.
yeah, well, like I kind of knew that was coming, especially when like 2 weeks before it came out, I was like, oh wait, that's coming out. A lot of people
I just
did
feel like
not know.
Captain Marvel is not their most popular character anyway.
Well, they also had they had Miss Marvel.
Well, Miss Marvel is kind
was
of a
like
newer
pop.
character.
Yeah, but
isn't
she like her show was popular, so
sure.
I don't know. I think that was definitely an effect of the SAG strike.
All the
I feel like they
all the
would've had
reviews
a little
I've
bit
seen
more.
have said the same thing. Like Iman Vellani is like the
Yeah.
star,
She really is.
standout.
But also some MCU news. We might have gotten our first casting for the Fantastic Four movie.
And it's not John Krasinski though.
It's not.
So like,
did
I don't
you
even
hear-
care.
Did you?
I'm mad.
They
It's
gave
not
it-
him.
They gave us a little cameo, and that's it. That's all they really cared about. But
I'm upset.
did
I
you
speak for the entire internet when I'm saying I'm enraged.
that John Krasinski isn't going to be Reed Richards?
Yeah.
Oh, well, how do you feel about Pedro Pascal being Reed Richards? Because that is rumored to be.
I feel
He
like
is-
I feel like that's a weird casting.
It is.
Is Reed Richards usually like a Spanish guy?
No. I think it's weird because how old is Pedro Pascal?
He's kind of old, man. He's a
I
little.
know he
I feel
is.
like he's a little too old for that role, even. Because he's like,
Um,
he's at least 45. Like,
he is 48 years old.
he's a little old for that role, man.
Well, I mean, not. John Krasinski is 44.
Yeah, but he looks younger.
So, like, I don't know. I
he
mean,
looks well. John Krasinski is like definitely a dad type. I don't know why.
Well, like,
I don't know why Mr. Fantastic has to be like a dad, but
well,
I feel
that's
like
like
he should be.
I feel like he
He is in the comics.
yeah,
like,
he is a
literally.
dad in the comics, and I think like I don't know. It seems like this is not going to be like an origin story, so it's like odd that they're not going to do an origin story with it. I can see I can see like them having older cast.
Man,
but
superhero movies are getting real frustrating because it's like, do they do an origin story? Because that's really tired.
yeah,
Or do they just jump right into it? But that's also kind of weird because, like, where's the origin story?
yeah.
I don't know.
But I think honestly the reason why he got casted, I think, is because of The Last of Us. Like he plays a really good Joel.
He's
in
getting
The Last of Us.
typecast as a guardian.
Well, I
of
mean,
children.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
He's like-
I think he's a great actor. I think he brings a lot.
Whoa,
Dude.
whoa! I'll protect you. I'm Pedro Pascal.
But also there was also rumors flying around that they were in talks with Javier Bardem to play Galactus.
That seems really dumb to me.
So interesting, very interesting.
Galactus.
I don't know if how I
no,
feel
it's like
about that.
Galactus is talking to Reed Richards. He's like, "What's the most you've ever lost in a coin toss?"
You know someone's gonna make that edit when they inevitably announce the casting.
And Mr. Fantastic's like, "What do I stand to lose?"
It's gonna be him from
Galactus is
the.
gonna be like, "Your entire planet."
Who do you want them to play Silver Surfer? Wait, the coin.
Nicolas Cage.
The coin is the Silver Surfer.
He like flips him.
Yeah.
If he lands on his head,
If he does a sick trick, it means heads. If he doesn't, it's tails.
Galactus is kind of a stupid character because if you can just eat planets, it's like it's almost stupid.
He's kind of cool though. I would be surprised though if they did the Fantastic Four and then they started pivoting towards Galactus more than Kang, because that was another thing
They
that
should
came
tie
out.
it into the Eternals and make one of the Celestials fight Galactus. or
Galactus,
something.
yeah. Oh my
Kaiju
gosh.
fight. They're like giant.
It's
you
just
could
an
you could-
MCU kaiju fight.
you could turn it into the robot, the fighting. What's that one movie
What?
where they're in the mech
Oh,
suits?
Pacific Rim?
Yeah, it's like Pacific Rim.
Oh
But
man,
Marvel.
that'd be kind of cool.
The
But also,
Marvelous Rim.
oh my gosh. Also speaking of movies that we talked about last week, The Killer did pretty good on Netflix.
Well, that's because it's good.
Well, yeah, but it debuted with 27.9 million views on the service. So, it's doing hopefully well. It was at number 1 last time I saw it, like maybe 3 days
Heck
later.
yeah. We like that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really excited. Also, I wanted to bring this up quickly because, this is kind of like the last one, for movie news. Have you seen? I know I didn't bring it up last week because it was still kind of in the middle of it.
Sure.
But did you see what this whole Coyote versus Acme movie has kind of done?
Pardon?
Do you know about Coyote versus Acme?
I mean, I know the cartoon.
Yeah.
They're making
so they're
a movie?
they made a movie.
And guess what? The Roadrunner is being voiced by Chris Pratt.
No. No.
He's already doing Garfield, boys.
I think I will say this.
Mario, Garfield. I can't believe he didn't do Sonic. He should do Shadow the Hedgehog in the sequel or whatever. I mean, let's
Chris
just give
Pratt's
him.
just gonna be raking in paycheck
Chris
after
Pratt
paycheck.
is gonna be the voice of a new generation's childhood.
What would be comparable to like ours? What would be like the one that's like he voiced every single like animated?
There's probably at least one voice actor who
already
did
Chris
that.
Pratt, Chris Pratt also, you know what he also has? He has the Jurassic Park series under his belt as well.
Jurassic World.
He has the Jurassic World. Sorry,
bro.
He's got the Guardians under his belt.
He's got to be
so
like
he's got a part of the
MCU,
dude.
Dude.
Yeah, but you know what I just realized? He's also part of the Lego Movie.
Yeah, he's Emmett.
So
in the Lego
like
movie.
he's already done. He's already had like a few.
And is voice acting?
He's just doing paycheck movies now.
Man, his voice just sounds like Chris Pratt. It's kind of annoying. Let's get some more talented voice actors in the booth. Man.
Nah. Keep Chris Pratt in there, you know.
I say that, and I don't even think Chris Pratt is necessarily a bad voice actor, but like you could get some unknown voices in there who could do a better job, honestly.
But anyways, even though the Garfield trailer did come out, what did you watch that? Did you watch the trailer? I think it looks good. I think it honestly it looks like the animation's going to be good at least.
Nothing will ever top Bill Murray as Garfield.
Okay.
The
but
true
anyways,
Garfield movie.
Anyways, back to the actual original thing. Coyote versus Acme. So this is a movie. It's already been filmed. This movie's already been filmed. It's in.
What do you mean filmed? You mean animated?
No, it's not an animated movie. It's a It's a live action animated movie.
They got a stop motion taxidermy Roadrunner.
No.
Oh.
It's kind of like a Roger Rabbit situation.
Oh.
Yeah. Now this is the
I physically cringed when you said that.
Now this is the thing though. They've tested this movie with audiences already.
And the audiences are like, this sucks.
No, actually.
This guy stinks.
Actually, no. It tested really well. It tested really good. It was in the high 90s.
Okay, was the audience at gunpoint?
No.
Are you sure about that?
So the thing that makes it
it's
so
like
interesting.
you go into the movie.
I feel like you need to have an open mind on this
theater
movie.
Is monitored. This theater is monitored by turrets.
No, it's no. When this comes out, I'm making you watch this because I want you to eat your words.
I grew up watching a lot of that stupid Roadrunner show, and it was very entertaining for me.
But anyways, the reason why this was in the news.
Although I will say that okay, sorry, not to cut you off, but isn't it annoying how every single IP that's ever existed is like it's gotta take a resurgence and make it into a movie franchise.
I don't think that they're making this into a franchise. It doesn't sound like they're gonna make it into a franchise.
Okay. Is it Warner Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, you're the head of Warner Brothers.
Hold on.
It's testing well with audiences. It's got a 90% approval rating.
Yeah.
It's gonna do big numbers. Let's draft up the sequel, baby. That's exactly what they're thinking.
Well,
before they even make the movie.
You're gonna be. I already know you're wrong, because if you let me finish the story.
No.
If you let me finish it. The thing is that they didn't think of sequel. They thought of, it's a tax write-off. They said
like
that
the Tom and Jerry movie.
like the Batgirl movie and the Scoob sequel. Yes, they
Are they never gonna release it? It's like
they announced on November 9th that the film was going to be.
Servers.
It's not Aquaman 2.
It's right next to Aquaman 2 in the servers.
So
somewhere.
it was announced that it was going to be basically shelved for a $30 million tax write-off or tax write-down.
They can say that?
Yes. They did
They're
it
like
with,
yeah, we don't plan on.
They did it with Batgirl. They did it with Holiday Haunt, which is the Scoob sequel movie. But this is where the story kind of takes a turn. Unlike those movies, people did not like that idea. A lot of the director went to Twitter, or as you call it, X, and was like, "This movie's good, guys. Like, we should
release
what's
the director's name?
Huh?
What's the director's name?
David Green.
Release the green cut.
So the thing though is that, and guess who also did the story? James Gunn. James Gunn also helped with the story.
He's everywhere, man.
So, but what happened was that like 3 days after they announced
some
that,
people in Hollywood are way oversaturated.
oh my gosh. Like 3 days later though, Warner Brothers announced that they would be selling it they would be basically giving screenings to other companies so that it could be premiered on like Netflix or Amazon. And I think those were the two big ones that were like, wanting the movie. So
it'd be stupid to if it's just a tax write-off. Like,
yeah, no, here's the other reason.
If you got
why.
a complete movie, you should probably just
the movie
it.
was pretty much complete, and it starred Will Forte, John Cena as like two live action people.
Why?
Oh my gosh, you're hating on this movie and it's not even released. But
John
anyways,
Cena. Who's he playing in the movie? John Cena?
No, he's playing Acme Corporation's CEO.
So they're gonna do a Barbie.
No.
They're stealing the
idea. It's basically
from Barbie,
the entire
which is already stealing the idea from
the plot of the movie. No, hold on. The plot of the movie is that Wile E. Coyote, in his after this is the premise on Wikipedia. After all the products made by Acme Corporation backfire on Wile E. Coyote in his pursuit of the Roadrunner, he hires an equally unlucky human attorney to sue the company. When Wiley's lawyer finds out that his former law firm's intimidating boss
his
is
lawyer,
Acme's
better
CEO.
call Saul.
No, it's Will Forte. Acme's CEO, he teams up with Wiley to win the court case against him. So this sounds like a great movie. I'm very happy that
Okay. Just from that premise alone, how much you want to bet that the judge's mallet is used to try and smash someone?
Oh my god, no. Okay.
I'm a genius.
Nope.
It's gonna be in the film. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Friendly bet, $20.
Okay, friendly bet.
The judge's mallet.
I'll give you it.
Will be used to try and smash the Roadrunner.
I will, if it happens, I will give you $20 on the pod. So,
well, you're gonna owe me $20 then, because it's gonna happen.
But this also was supposed to. Honestly, you just mentioned Barbie. It was originally scheduled to release on July 21st of this year.
Well, they made a good move pivoting away from that date.
No, Warner Brothers. This is Warner Brothers.
Oh, right.
So
they moved up Barbie to
moved Barbie into its
Christopher
spot.
Nolan.
So, but anyways, Deadline Hollywood reported that Prime Video, Apple Studios, and Netflix were interested in buying it. So hopefully that gets a release. I'm hoping, because it sounds really funny. I want to see it. Unlike it sounds like you don't want to see it. What the hell?
I'm just extremely jaded, and I'm disappointed that someone like John Cena's in the movie. Might as well just throw on The Rock and Chris Pratt.
Oh my
and
gosh.
You know what? Who else is really big time right now?
I don't know, man.
Just throw them all in there in a blender, and then, when it's like a nice soup.
Okay.
Dump it all over the audience.
All right. Well, but that's pretty much all the movie news that I had.
I do
unless
like
you have something.
I do like how Ridley Scott was quoted as saying basically to hell with historical accuracy.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that,
Dude
Ridley.
Dude is unhinged right now.
The Napoleon movie, It's gonna be good. Is
Well,
it gonna
did you
be
see-
accurate? Who knows?
Did you also see like he was talking? There was like people that were like criticizing it for historical inaccuracies on like TikTok, and he was like, "Get a life, you guys!
Were you
I'm
there?
making a movie, and you guys are just TikToking."
No,
so
wasn't he like, were you there? No. Then shut the hell up.
yeah, he's been unhinged. But anyways, um, let's just let's go into our next
A main topic.
main topic for the rest of the episode. Hunger Games. The movie is its full title is The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
And it delivers on that promise. There are
There
songbirds.
are.
There are many snakes.
This is of course the prequel. Set 64 years, before, the original Hunger Game movie.
with
that
Jennifer
came out
Lawrence.
with Jennifer
starring
Lawrence.
as Katniss Everdeen.
Yes. And this is directed by Francis Lawrence, who did Catching Fire and the two Mockingjay movies. So he's already been
Oh,
he'd already been a part of this realm this world of the Hunger Games.
sure.
And of course it stars Tom Blythe as Coriolanus
Coriolanus?
Coriolanus Snow.
Not Cornelius.
Not I thought it was Cornelius, honestly, but he plays
They only say his name like 400 times.
yeah, but he plays basically Snow, or the person who would grow up
President
to be
Snow.
President Snow, played by Donald Sutherland in the original movies.
So that's entirely
But-
like the intrigue of this movie.
Yeah.
How does this guy become the evil President
yes,
Snow?
that's pretty much the only reason
it's a
why
villain
this
origin story.
book and movie exists. But of course, the cast is also rounded out with Rachel Zegler as one of the female tribute named Lucy Greybeard from District 12, which is Katniss's district in the
Of
original
course.
books. And then you have Hunter Schafer as Tigress, Snow's cousin.
Tigress is a cool name.
Tigress is a kind of sick name, but
Bring
but-
that back. Well, it's never been a thing, but like let's make it a thing.
let's make it a thing and then bring it back.
Honestly, the
Um,
one thing that is really great about the Hunger Games universe is all the stupid names.
They are great names, though. Honestly, like
The one
No
guy's
one would-
name is Plinth Sejanus.
yes.
What is that?
No, it's Sejanus Plinth, bud.
Oh,
Yeah,
Plinth is
the Plinth Prize.
Well,
But then we have Lucretius Lucky Flickerman, played by Jason Schwartzman.
Lucretius.
Cassius Highbottom, played by Peter Dinklage, and Dr. Volumnia
Valumina?
Valumina
Gale.
Gall, played by Viola Davis. And
Ghoul.
let's just get right into this. What was your main?
Some big names.
Some big names, great. Honestly,
Good acting, honestly. I think.
yeah. Well, if we're gonna start off with the acting, I want to say that honestly, to me, I don't know about you. They're good. They all do their job well.
Okay.
But there's no real standouts.
no real
Like
standouts.
there's no real standouts for me,
I mean,
except
the
for
girl
one.
is very good at singing.
Well, yeah, but I knew that
She's
from
good at that.
yeah, but I knew that from
That's kind
West
of
Side
her,
Story.
That's kind of her shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you saw West Side Story, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know she sings.
I will say
So-
though, okay. Well, I don't know if we should get in because like
Well,
it
we
deals with
won't get into the spoilers yet. We'll get into spoilers
The
when we get to.
geography of
Oh,
Pan
we're
Am.
not gonna. No, don't get on your geography.
She sounds like
complaint right
she's
now.
from the South or something. She's got like a Southern accent. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But like Coal Town, that's Appalachia.
That's the South.
Not really.
That's like
It's
not
like different,
Midwestern, but
though.
it's more southern eastern.
Well, I guess I get away with it because all the locations are unspecified.
All right, but anyways,
I don't know.
if we're I mean, like I said, there's no real standouts in the characters. I think everyone does really well. I think they do good.
I think I was surprised that the dialogue was actually pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie conveyed its ideas really well through the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
There was like, I'd say maybe the third act is kind of where things went off the rails a little bit, not a lot,
Yeah.
not a complete derailment, but enough to where it was a little more confusing. But the dialogue as a whole, I think, like, because the Hunger Games, even from the original book, the original story, It's about like bigger ideas. There's world building going on in the background.
Yeah.
So to do that, like to fill in the audience, especially this one because it's a prequel, you got to give exposition, right? I think this disguises exposition pretty well for the most part through its dialogue. I think
A little bit.
Initial
Yeah.
thoughts.
No, I get it. Well, if we're gonna talk about story, then, this movie opens with the quote, "The dark days."
That opening really added nothing.
The opening didn't really do anything, but I liked when you brought up world building, and I think that actually added to that to me. Like the opening, I thought the opening was kind of solid, honestly. Of like starting it with the dark days and the young. It's young Tigress and young Snow.
That would be our first window into what the Pan Am was like before the Hunger Games, which we didn't get in any of the other stories, right?
No, I don't think so at all. But like, I think it sets it up really well because it is the for what I think the movie is not trying. Of course, it's a villain origin story, as you said, but I think like it's definitely trying to like walk the line between like
it's trying to walk hard.
No,
the Dewey Cox story.
No, it's trying to like walk that line of is this like we know where this guy ends up, but is like he does is it because of the world he lives in that he ends up like that,
or is he
in
just
the movie,
after
or
the
is
head to
he?
begin with?
Yeah, exactly. And I think like
yes, the classic "Are you psycho, born that way or not?" Like the killer, except a little bit different.
Very much different. Well, even though like this has a chapter structure as well, which I thought was odd.
I feel like that was probably something they did late in the making of this movie because, each of the like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 are very much very different, and I felt like, Mr. Lawrence, the director of the movie, is probably like, we should throw in some word title cards, break up this into parts because it feels like it's broken up into parts anyway. So,
yeah, I think. Well, actually, you kind of bring up a good point.
Each act could have been like a short film, in a way too.
See, no, that one. Maybe I could see it like being like a TV show, but like then again, it's like I still like my one of the big gripes I have with this movie, and this goes into the story, and we'll hold off on spoilers just right now
for the moment.
But like this movie really should have been 2 movies. In all honesty,
see,
it's odd to say like a book should be split into 2, but like,
see, I kind of disagree because my feeling is that I'd rather have 1 2.5-hour movie than like 2 kind of short movies. Also, I don't know if there's like enough material and like, because like Act 1 needs Act 2 because it's centered around the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
like the actual games. That could have been its own movie. Act 3 on its own, Part 3, I don't know if there's enough for a standalone film. I think you kind of need that. I think you kind of need that stuff to round out the story to make the character arc of Snow make sense. And like to break that into 2 movies would be like maybe not good.
So I think
I feel like it works better as a 1-parter than a 2-parter. Even though the runtime was kind of long.
Yeah, I'll say this is that I think
the same movie, but like a little tighter. Maybe get this to like 2 hours 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, but I really like
2 hours 5.
So the thing we're talking about, the world building. We're talking about that. The thing that I like, at least from like the first 2 acts, is the ideas that we're seeing the Hunger Games that we saw back in the movies before this have kind of become, and you see the small little like things that started off like the reaping ceremonies, and then you have the games themselves, and then the before the games even section, that I'm like, that world building is really, really good in my opinion. And I think like I was a lot more invested in that world building, and that's why I want to keep, like, I don't think cutting this down to 2 hours would fully work without losing some like world building. And then that I think you benefit.
I'm
with
thinking
that
in
world.
particular of some action scenes that were kind of dumb that you could have omitted completely to shave some time.
I don't know. I think because I personally think, like, especially third act, that could easily be expanded. I think very easily.
It feels very much like ideologically like separated from the other two parts.
Yeah, and that's why I think like if that was like its own separate movie, you expanded it a little bit to get it to a
I think the ending of the movie ties everything together though. You like get it. You're like,
I guess
this is the part where he's got the Darth Vader suit on now. Like like
that's fair, but
it
at
rounds
the
it
same
out.
time, I think like
you see
I would have liked to explore a little bit more of District 12 that it's the third act is pretty much set in.
Can I just say that like it's real convenient everything happens in the same district? There's 12 districts.
God.
Why do all the important people go to 12?
Same reason why everything's
personal that way. It's
every important Star Wars stuff happens on Coruscant or Tatooine. The same reason why the important people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe live in New York,
or like everything happens on Earth.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is especially bad when you have a whole galaxy to play with. That's inexcusable.
Like
the Hunger Games is definitely just limited to North America. So
yeah, well, but
it gets a pass, I guess.
Yeah, but going off my knowledge, at least from the first few movies, like, do you really want to see like?
I would like to see what the other districts are like a little bit. Yeah,
you get it somewhat in like Catching Fire. And
Not
stuff,
really,
but like, I don't know. I think it would be a lot less interesting to see like someone that's a little bit well off.
Everyone from District 3 is a lumberjack, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
Well, I kind of want to. I'm gonna look this up.
It's like everywhere has trees, bro.
Oh my gosh. Let me look up.
There's no lumberjacks in District 12. I mean, they have trees, man.
All right.
Each district has one job. That's it.
I'm trying to find all the districts known for, because I know that was like a big thing. District 1 is known for luxury. District 2 is known for industry and lifestyle, aka never mind. I was reading something wrong.
The capital and 1 and 2 are like the fancy places.
Yeah, number 2 is masonry. So they have like all the they quote to quote the Hunger Games wiki, District 1 is manufacturing luxury items for the capital. District 2 manufactures and weaponry, makes trains, and supplies the nation's peacekeepers. District 3 is an electronics district.
3? I thought that was the tree people.
Nope. District 3 is technology. District 4 is fishing. So, there are more.
That's where Aquaman comes from.
Pretty much, yeah. They're more West Coast.
The one guy in Catching Fire was basically Aquaman.
Yeah, but kind of better though. District 5 was power. So they have large hydroelectric dams, it says.
Is
District 6.
Okay, well, it's supposed to be America, right? So I think like Hoover Dam. District 5 is Nevada.
I think so. I'm trying to find the district, like,
is there like an actual map somewhere?
Yeah. I have it up on my
I feel like no one can agree. I feel like it's so unspecified that people aren't in agreement with what district is where, except for vaguely that District 12 is coal mining country.
Yeah. Well, they all have separate things. So since we're from Michigan, we are number 6, which is transportation. So
cars.
so
Baby.
yeah,
That's what we do. That makes sense, actually.
District 7 is lumber, so there's the lumberjacks from District 7. District 8 is textiles. District 9 is grain. District 10 is
Nebraska.
livestock. Number 11 is agriculture, and then of course number 12 is mining. But then there's also the secret 13th district, which I'm not even going to get into.
Oh.
Because
That one died in the war.
I guess, yeah.
That one got nuked.
Yeah. But anyways, where were we again? I can't even remember.
We're talking about the plot.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, the opening, like we said, opening is like the dark days. I like that because it adds to, and that's what I'm saying is like that adds to the world building a little bit.
I feel like we already knew that about the dark days. Yeah, people were hungry, and things were kind of lawless because there's no government set up yet, probably.
But I don't know. I just think it worked here because it's like, oh, okay, something we haven't seen. And I think it was.
I like how Snow is supposed to be like sympathetic because he's like, for capital standards, he's poor.
Yeah,
that's why
really
we
is, yeah.
That's why we sympathize with him.
Yeah, and well, that's
he's
kind of
literally me.
Well, what you brought up, and that's what I was actually gonna say with you brought up that you wanted to see like someone from District 6. It's like District 6 was pretty well off, if I recall. Like they're one of the more. I think it like the cutoff is 8, where like it's kind of starts going to more poorer districts. But like, is a District 6 movie interesting? Because like the reason why you root for Katniss, the reason why you root for Snow is because they're both the underdogs.
Because she's poor.
Lucy Greybeard, you want her to win because she's, she is just a musician trying to get by in life, and it's like it's an underdog story. Because like look at the one guy, I can't even remember his like. I have a whole other thing with the characters.
Well, this is a prequel. I feel like Snow doesn't mention any of this later.
Probably,
because it's like, Katniss, you're from 12. I spent some time there. He doesn't say that. I don't think. Maybe he does.
He might. I think he might.
To be fair,
I think he might have mentioned that he's like he was a part of the part of something and went there.
Well,
but
my take on the books was the first Hunger Games was really good. Catching Fire was pretty solid, and then the third book was trash.
Catching Fire is the greatest. I love Catching Fire, but
the third book, the Mockingjay one, I hated that one.
Because
the whole time it was describing stuff, and I was like, Suzanne, my girl, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like these words, they make no sense. Like I can't see in my head what she's describing because she's describing like some bioengineered creatures coming after them in like the Capitol tunnels or something, and I'm like, this makes no sense. It was hard to imagine in my head what was happening. So that's my takes on the books.
Maybe the movies are better.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Have you seen Mockingjay? I haven't seen the movies.
I haven't seen the movies.
Have you not seen any of the Hunger Games movies?
Well, I saw the first 2.
Oh, me too. That's what I haven't seen.
We're on the
Mockingjay.
same page.
Yeah.
We saw 3 out of 5. Because there's already 5.
Yeah.
They did a Harry Potter and split the last one in 2.
See,
I'm okay with them not splitting this one into 2 because you don't need to split everything into 2.
No, I get it, but I think like my reasoning why I think this should be split into 2 is because it's kind of the Catching Fire situation. I'm gonna call it right now that we're gonna get a little bit into spoiler territory now, because the first act is pretty much, hey, here's the each Hunger Game movie pretty much follows, or at least the first 2 that we've seen, follows the same structure of the opening.
An hour to get to the actual games.
It takes an hour. Yeah, it takes an hour to get to the actual games, but like that first like act is, here's them kind of adjusting and training and having to be the like personality. Yeah.
Personality.
Yeah. And then the second act is pretty much the games, is the first half of the games, and then the second half is the second half, or the third act is pretty much the second half of the games. Where this one doesn't follow it. It's first act is, oh wow,
Pre-games.
Pre-games,
Second is the games.
and then it's like it almost
Post-games.
feels like a really
After game press
elongated
conference.
epilogue though.
It's the after game press conference. they ask him. All right,
SNL did a sketch. Did you
I
see
saw
that?
that one.
And it's so funny because Tim Robinson was on that season, and he's just like all dressed up. He's like, "Oh, okay." It's like,
all right, like they keep asking Katniss questions, and like PETA is like, "I'm here too. I can answer questions," and they ignore him.
Yeah.
Okay, that is pretty funny.
But like, I don't know. This third act just felt like an elongated epilogue that was just like, okay, I see where you're going,
like it was
but like
necessary.
I can see it's necessary, but I think it just hinders the movie a little bit because it's like, because you can expand and you can bring back a lot of people, and I think like, especially when here's when I would say to cut it is when there's like the train ride that the Snow's taking to District 12. That's when you should have cut it.
No.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Because here's my reasoning why you should have cut it there. Ended it there. First off, you end on like a very melancholic note with him
kind of losing.
Him losing a little bit, and you don't know what happened to Lucy. B, you don't know what's going to happen to his family, which you do find out what happens to them at the end of the movie here, but it's like it's kind of almost glossed over a little bit. So like I think in the second movie you could have, how are they affected by that?
I just don't think the third act was enough for a entirely different movie.
I think you could bring more into the aspect, and of course this is the third act of this movie. It's after the games. He's sent to District 12.
Well, he bribed someone to go to 12.
Yeah. Well, imagine if it was like he had to go to District 2 instead. And he was like trying to make his way to 12. Blah blah blah. Gets to 12. You could have made
this into 4 movies.
You could have you could have expanded at least to the second movie.
The studio is like, damn it, we could have made this into 6 movies.
I fully think you can expand the last half or last like few.
I feel like this one was based on just one book, right?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Which I don't know how the book like was received, I should say. I don't know,
especially
because
of COVID times. That's when it released.
Yeah.
But,
reception.
I'm gonna die on the hill that this is better as one movie than 2, because like I feel like to complete his arc, you needed to do that. Now, I'm not a fan of incomplete arcs.
Okay.
So, I feel like you need. It's about him. It's about Snow. You needed to complete his arc.
Yeah. Well, like,
that's my take on it.
I'm looking at the plot of the book. Pretty much halfway through the book is where, like, halfway through the book is where the last 30 minutes. Or the last half of the book is where that last 30 minutes is. So,
Shut up. Shut up. You're
like,
wrong. You're wrong. I'm right.
Well, like, it's a 517-page book.
And they condensed that in 2.5 hours.
Well, like, I actually wonder how long was the first book, because that movie is like an hour and 40.
Let's do some qualitative
analysis. Some math. Let's do some quick. Let's do some quick.
Let's not. Please don't.
Let me pull them up. Hold on. Gosh. Okay, so the first movie's runtime is 142 minutes. I did not realize it was that long.
Yeah, even the first one's long, okay?
But the first book is 374 pages.
I think that's kind of the problem with the Hunger Games movies
Second book,
in general.
391 pages.
How much time do you spend in the actual arena?
Yeah. What, the books?
Yeah, I'm saying like the movies. I'm saying like to make a well-paced movie and to do everything you want to do with the ideas in the book. How much of it do you actually spend in the arena? Because in this movie, the entire games ends in 2 days.
Yeah.
Which I get it. It was the 10th Hunger Games, so maybe they didn't work out all the kinks yet. In fact, President Snow is providing all the, or he is not president yet, but Cornelius, whatever the hell his name is the one providing all the good ideas that they implement later into the games.
So I just want to
including
also
like the care packages.
By the way, I
donations
just found out. I just looked at the thing. Each book is about 390 pages.
Yeah.
So this is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is about 120 pages more
I get it.
than the other ones.
I get it.
So I think like you could have easily had that 120 pages could have been a book. Or not a book, a movie. It was a book.
I did have to get up and use the bathroom during this movie. So I missed
All I'm saying is
I missed like a minute.
Like
okay?
a 2-hour movie and like an hour 40, hour 50-minute movie wouldn't be bad.
I'm going to die on the hill that I like my movies to actually complete.
You could have called the first one Ballad of Songbirds and then the second one Ballad of Snakes.
That would have been stupid.
It would have, but you could have.
That would have been terrible. That's the only reason they didn't split it. It's like, damn, what do we call the second one?
But I don't know.
I'm done with this argument. I'm right.
Okay. But anyways, quickly to go at least to the games, I should say, because I think we're both. Would you agree that the games are probably the best part of this movie?
I don't know. Everything takes place in the one room. I kind of like the build up to the games more than the games.
Okay.
Because the build up, you set up Snow as kind of a sympathetic character, which is interesting because he becomes a dickhead later, right?
Yeah.
And then you get like some capital politics going on.
Okay.
You see what's going on. They immediately call out that his clothing is like handmade, which is funny. He's not as elite as me. But like you get a good sense of that stuff. And then you see how like he's the one coming up with all these good ideas that they implement later. Like they didn't work out all the kinks yet. Like this is the 10th games, the viewership is down, is not doing so hot.
Yeah.
They need to infuse it with some snow action. So I just like how they I like how there's like a progression there.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well, so to say I like that too, but I like the games a lot, and I think mainly because it's the basis of the whole series.
I mean,
but
right before the games, there's like a bombing attempt on the arena, which is
that was insane.
That's crazy. I was not expecting that.
So
Rebellion
it definitely
against
is
the games.
and that's the thing is like maybe and this is another point, maybe put some more rebellion things in the second movie.
The seeds are everywhere.
The seeds are everywhere, but like the rebellion, like seeing a little bit more of the rebellion in the second movie would have been cool though.
They do that in the Mockingjay book.
I know they do, but
and it sucks. There's no Hunger Games in that one, which is the whole point of the series.
Well, no, imagine. Okay, can I let me? You know what? I'm gonna try to sell you on this.
No.
Second part. You deviate a little bit from the book. It's a year later.
I hate it. Stop. No.
All right, guys, that has been
one movie. Deal with it.
No, I'm.
This is what every review was like fighting about that I could see.
This is just this is pretty
too
much
many movies in one. Blah blah blah.
Okay, but imagine if like the second one was like a year later. The 11th Hunger Games is happening or something.
What about the 10th one? That's what
we just had that one.
That's intro.
That one's in the movie.
That's Snow's intro though. That's where
that's his intro. But like, imagine if like you had the 11th Hunger Games though, and then Snow's like seeing it, and he's on the other side at this point.
No,
he's not in the capital. He's not safe.
No, shut up.
Oh my god. Okay.
No. I like how the games are kind of shitty, and like 5 of the tributes die before the games even start.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is actually really funny.
I like that.
Well, one of my favorite parts of that is also like the zoo.
Like, oh yeah. Like
what? Why are they put into a zoo?
Because the capital won the war, and they're
I guess,
they're
yeah.
evil, and they have to show off how evil they are. Look at these savages. They're not people. Haha. You know,
Okay.
all these districtors.
But speaking of the zoo, though, I want to, quickly before
I
we
think it was-
before we delve
I
more
think it was
into
kind of clever how Snow builds up like, oh, if you make your tribute a personality thing. I think that was the way that happened was kind of natural, and I get
yeah,
it.
that's I
And
like that. Yeah.
It all worked. I think it
Mhm.
worked.
Oh yeah. But before we even get into more fighting, let's come to common ground. Let's come to the, let's meet in the middle, and let's just say the one thing that I think we both really liked in this movie.
What's that?
Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman.
Jason Schwartzman's the fucking best in this movie.
Part-time magician.
He's no, he's
weatherman.
He's a weatherman and amateur magician.
Yes,
and the host.
He was fantastic.
He is so
Some
good.
Gravitas. He's also
maybe that's why the third act felt bad.
He's also dumping exposition, but it's in a way that's like
works.
fun.
Yeah,
in a way that works.
maybe you know what? Maybe the third act though didn't work for me because he's not in it.
Oh, you know what? Something that they could have cut out of the movie to make it shorter was the whole Sejanus going into the arena and like, let's send in Snow to get him out.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah,
they make that into like a critical plot point when they didn't have to.
See, but like that's the thing though. Is like if they
could've-
made it into 2 movies though, the seeds are the seeds are planted in the first one.
I'm sure that happens in the book and it's important. I see why it's important.
Yeah,
because of the way Sejanus is characterized. But like, you could have just did that without showing us too. And him killing a tribute is just kind of funny.
yeah, no, yeah, that's a
bro.
like,
He was on the. He didn't have to do that.
He really didn't.
But like, that's the way that you can show like, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah,
He didn't have to kill tribute from 7.
tribute. Yeah, speaking
Nameless
of
tribute.
hold on, that brings up a bigger point that I actually want to like talk about. One of my other gripes with this movie. I think this movie's good. I want to say that. I think this movie's good. I just have a few gripes. It definitely sounds like I hate this movie, but I don't.
80% good, 20% stupid.
Yeah.
That's my take.
One of my main gripes in this entire movie is that none of the other tributes are lacking personality. In the first movie, there was a lot of tributes that I was like, they have some personality, You had Rue in the first one. You had a fox face in there.
I feel like the first one was definitely that one was more centered on the games themselves.
Yeah,
there's no other noise.
But I think like
so you could do that. You had time to do that.
Well, yeah, but I think if you elaborated a little bit more on these personalities, it would. Like, even if you elaborate a little more on the personalities.
You get small moments that all are very valuable. Like, you get Reaper. He puts all the dead bodies, like, kind of.
Is his name Reaper?
His name is Reaper.
Is it? No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Is it?
I think his name is Reaper.
Who's Jessup was
the other person from 12,
the other guy
who had rabies, which is stupid.
Yeah. See, and this is like another thing. It's like a lot of these, like, and this is what I mean by like no real.
I'm saying
it was Reaper. Wow, you are right. His name was Reaper. Okay,
Reaper. He
I didn't.
He puts he kind of gives him like a burial, and then he tears down the flag and puts it over him as like a protest thing. That's all. I guess. Like that's a very small moment, but it says a lot without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't need to get You don't need to spend a lot of time on these people, and they didn't, which is fine. I think they spend appropriate. Each one of them,
yeah, but
they get moments.
They get moments, but I'm like, spending a little bit of time with like Reaper. Why? Like just the idea of like, oh, this girl that's in his district. Oh, he's mad because she died. It's like. I feel like if we saw some more of her, like more of the tributes, and this might be because, like, of course, the movie shifts focus a little more to the whole capital side, which I do like. I do like that it's focusing a lot more on the capital side than it is the tribute side, because we already got the tribute side with the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But like a little bit more small moments I think would have worked, especially when he tears the banner down. It's like,
Worked for me, man.
you know,
you didn't need a lot.
it works,
Do we
but I
care
want more.
about Wovie? Whatever her name is, Wovie.
She just wanders around the entire movie,
Yeah.
like, and then dies
From the
from
snakes.
a snake tsunami.
What
pretty
a
much.
stupid way to end the games. By the way, the snake. Let's introduce some outside thing into the games that just kills everyone.
They
Except
do
for-
that in the original. They do
They do
see,
that
that's
every
like,
time, and it's like, damn. Like as an audience member,
Well,
like if I was if I was watching this on TV, I'd be like, what the hell? They ruined it. I'd be mad. This
you were like,
this
I
is
want to
like-
see children murdering children. What
it's
the
like
hell?
the Roman Colosseum if like your favorite gladiator, and then they're like, F it, throw 4 tigers on the loose after him. It's like, well, that's not fair. No way he's gonna win that. You killed Maximus or whoever, my favorite gladiator. It's like, thanks. That's cheating, you know?
Oh no. Well, they do it in the other ones, so it's like,
No, I feel like the other ones had, well, okay. This is a prequel, so this is only game 10. They didn't work out all the kinks yet, you know? They don't have the state-of-the-art technology for some reason, even though this is still the future. Why was everything like weirdly retro? I don't get that.
I like that. It's the.
I get that a world-changing war
Is that Neo? That's not.
happened, but
is
like,
that-
why is everything on like computer screens?
I
mean,
want to say
TV
that's
screens,
neo-futuristic is what the style's called, like neo.
like the CRT, whatever they're, like the old style TVs. It's like, why? It's like weirdly 1920s or something.
No, wait, that's not neo-future. That's not steampunk either. What is it?
1940s.
I don't know. I like it though. It kind of gave me a little bit of like Fallout vibes.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to be like Fallout.
I like
'cause
that,
it's a
though.
distinct franchise.
I think. Well, I'm not saying it's like Fallout. Hunger Games don't have mech suits and like
no, they kind
demons running everywhere like in Fallout. But
no, not demons, but they have bioengineered beasts that might as well be mutated.
yeah, but like I don't know.
They got rainbow
I like
snakes.
that. I like that because it will also. It's like. It also, I could see that what's in this movie transitioning to over the span of like 50 plus years into what we see in the first Hunger Games movie.
I guess.
So-
But I don't know. It's like things are weirdly retro if this is still supposed to be the future.
Well, it's supposed like if we consider it like okay, when does the first Hunger Games? Do they ever give a date
I don't
for
think
like
so.
the first Hunger Games?
Not really. I think everything's unspecified, including the geography, which I want to touch on for a second.
Okay.
Because we see on the like when he's doing the weather.
Yeah, he's doing
for
the
a
weather in the middle of it.
You
Yeah.
see kind of like a map, and like District 10 is clearly kind of like in the shape of Mexico.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess District 10 is Mexico.
Well, like District.
like the numbering system makes no sense.
District
12 is
6
next
is
to
like-
like 6 and like 3 or whatever. It's like,
Okay.
why are they not in a logical place?
Okay, I'm pulling up the Pan Am map.
But I feel
Um,
like nothing is specified either.
What the hell? They got District 6 literally in like
The opposite place you
Kansas.
thought it was? Exactly. That's
they
what I'm
got
saying.
District 8 in Michigan. What the hell?
See, no one agrees. It's different for everyone.
Okay, here
It's
we
all
go.
like theories.
So yeah, so
We don't
okay.
even know where the capital is supposed to be.
It's the capital? Wait. The capital's supposed to be in like
It's supposed to be in
No.
the north somewhere because it snows there.
according to this so someone overlaid the map of America over the like canonical map
yeah,
that is given
yeah.
of Pan Am. Wait, hold on. What's this?
It's like
The capital, guess what? The capital's supposed to be like in like Wyoming,
like Colorado or
like
something.
Colorado, Wyoming area. It's like what?
Ah, yes, Denver,
Yeah,
the capital.
yeah, of course. But like, I don't know. That's
That could kind of make sense though, because if you imagine some kind of nuclear war or something, like the mountains might be a good place to be. but
yeah, but still, like,
you can fill in your own. You can fill in your own with the what happened in the war or whatever. But like, yeah, they don't.
I guess, but still,
The only thing we know for sure is that 12 is like Appalachia.
Yeah.
Appalachia.
They really should have,
However you
like,
say it.
they really should have, maybe done a little bit more research, in my opinion. But
Yeah. If we're talking about like details from the actual games part of the movie, why are the drones so shitty?
Okay. I
Why-
knew we were gonna get here.
So,
we
like,
were gonna get here. The reason why
snow-
they actually have like a thing that they say,
Facial recognition.
Lucky, one of his many great moments.
It's like,
Which
wow,
wait,
these
hold on,
drones kind of suck.
You know what I just realized? Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Is Lucky Flickerman, the Stanley Tucci's character?
Yes.
Is that his dad? Is that supposed to be his dad?
No, what do you mean? Stanley Tucci's in the Hunger Games. So like,
No, I know,
that's
but
him
is-
as an older person, right? Isn't it?
No.
Who's Stanley? What do you mean Stanley Tucci?
Sta-
Is he in the other movies?
Stanley Tucci, the
Jason
actor.
Schwartzman is just supposed to be a younger him, right?
No, I don't think so.
Isn't it?
Stanley Tucci plays where the hell is it? Caesar Flickerman. He plays Caesar Flickerman in the Hunger Game movies.
Wow, I don't care. Wow.
Okay. Well, Caesar Flickerman, it says on the
Long line of
on the
weathermen.
Wikipedia page, it says that he served as the master of ceremonies since the 50th Hunger Games. So
Jason Schwartzman made it to
it
the
is
Hunger Games.
is
50. Okay.
Wow, man. It says here, it is implied that he is a descendant of the first Hunger Games commentator, Lucky Flickerman. Wow, it's crazy that two people have the same last name. It's
Hey, man.
implied, guys.
Well, it's not specified, you know.
Well, that's true, but like, I think they
He
even,
says
I
he
think
needs a
they-
reservation for 2 and a high chair, so he has
so
a child.
that's what I'm gonna say. So if it's
little baby Caesar.
that's what I'm saying. If he's a child in the 10th Hunger Games and he starts in the 50th, he's
110 years old. Wait a
maybe
second.
that was Caesar's dad that was in the high chair, I guess. But like,
What? Okay,
Well-
first of all, who cares?
I do.
I don't care how many generations this spans, okay? I don't. I really don't.
Okay.
Well, first of all, President, like, it's the same Snow guy. He's like old. He gets old by the time Katniss roll around. He's like 80.
Who?
President Snow. He's old, man. Like,
So how?
by
So
the
I'm
Hunger
assuming.
Games.
So if we take
It's like the
We need to
74th
fi-
Hunger Games is when Katniss
Yes.
comes in.
so that's 68. That's 60. Wait,
64 years.
64 years.
Duh. They even say that.
Okay.
Wait, no, they don't. But
Yeah. They
whatever.
don't. Yeah.
they say it's the 10th one. You can do math.
So
I was just gonna say how the drones are stupid because they come
the drone.
crashing
Okay.
in
Okay.
and
Hold
they
on.
go
no,
right
hold
for
on.
your head. It's like
Before I
like
got into
some
the tangent.
water, but like not if it takes my head off.
Before I got into the tangent about Lucky Flickerman and like it might be the chair might have been for Caesar's dad or Caesar himself.
Wow, you made a connection that everyone already made. Genius.
Oh my god. Okay. Shut up. Shut up. I was gonna say he makes note of it that they were old drones that they used in the war. So those drones are 10 years old. They are out of date.
First of all,
They needed a new
that
purpose.
is a poor excuse for writing because the drones take over the movie for like 8 minutes.
They don't take over the movie for 8
She's
minutes.
surrounded, and then the drones crash in and
Yeah,
like,
that's just like
almost behead half the people. 'cause
that's just a plot point. That's just a point.
that's a
not
stupid plot point.
That's not 8 minutes of screen time.
It's like it felt like 8 minutes because of how stupid
Oh
it
my
was.
gosh. Okay.
And then like the one drone hits Rabies boy and he falls down.
Dies.
Like damn, the drone like literally the mentors kill more tributes than the tributes kill tributes. It's kind of
Like
there's a point to be made with that, I'm sure, but it's still
Yeah.
kind of stupid that the drones fly in there like heat-seeking missiles. And no one ever sends food. They just send water. Everyone's starving.
Well, no, it's not food, it's protein. Did you read that on the
No.
thing? It says protein. It's not
Oh,
food.
that-
It's
that could
just
be
water
anything.
and
Ugh.
protein.
That's gross.
Um,
Protein shakes.
I don't know. I the drones were fine in my opinion. There was a
No, I
logical
thought it was-
explanation.
It was so stupid. It took me out of the movie.
I love how your gripe with it is, man, those drones kind of suck, and I'm like, this should be 2 movies. This should be.
Parts where I got taken out of the movie a little bit was the random bombing, which caught me off guard.
I thought that was fine.
The drones. and
Well, I
then-
like. Okay, I saw the trailers for this, and I was like, when they walked into it first, I was like, wait, hold on, this arena's just. I was like,
This
so wait, the
arena's not
first
blown up.
the first 9 Hunger Games
Take
have
place
been
in
in
the same
this
place.
arena,
Yeah, no, that makes
and it's
sense.
it's basically just child murder. It's
Hey.
just people watching, because you can see seats in the upper, like they all
Yeah.
just sat around and it was like, yep, that's good.
Yeah, well, it's like the Roman Colosseum, obviously, right? And
I don't know, that's just weird to me. That's like,
they were operating with a lower budget, okay? And then
Okay.
the rebels blew up the stadium, and then they had to commission a new one.
so is that why we now have like
they got a
the
little more
arena
creative later
stuff?
on by Katniss's time.
Yeah. Oh, there.
Because in the Hunger Games book, we hear about past Hunger Games. Like one was like a meadow with like a volcano, which sounds cool.
That
as
sounds
heck,
sick as hell.
with poisonous plants everywhere.
Oh my god, what if we got a Hunger Games TV show?
I just want to.
But it's just
each episode is just
is a
each
different Hunger
edition of
Games?
The Hunger Games.
That'd
I'd be
be
cool
sick.
with that. You'd
Like-
have 72 other ones to work with.
No, 73. Oh wait, no.
We've
yeah,
seen
you're right.
3.
You saw we've seen 3.
Stupid.
Well, then the quarter quells. The quarter quells would have been sick.
Yeah.
Well, like
yeah.
what was it? Haymitch in the first movie, the Woody Harrelson character.
Mhm.
He's in the second quarter quell. I want to say that one's sick. Do you know about the second quarter quell? What happened there?
What, the 50th one?
Yeah, the 50th Hunger Games. What they did for the second quarter quell?
No, I don't
They
remember.
doubled it. I think. I'm pretty sure they doubled the.
2 times the tributes. 2
They did,
times
yeah.
the death. Check it out. Sunday.
Pretty much,
The
it's-
50th Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Hosted by
I forgot there was
Caesar
a-
Flickerman
I
in his
forgot there
first
was a
ever
short film. Some people made a short film for a call about the.
No, I
second
don't
quarter
want to
quell.
see student films. No.
It's like a 12-minute movie, but I remember watching that and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Yeah, it was 48 tributes instead of 24.
That sounds dope as hell. I
Yeah.
want to watch that.
So you're gonna watch the short film,
No,
the
they
short
just,
student film?
dude, they have an unlimited franchise here. They have 72 other movies to make. They're,
I wouldn't mind.
they're frothing at the mouth like the rabies kid. They have so many movies to make.
But also one quick thing before I think we end this conversation
Well,
because it's
Were we gonna talk about the plot of like the third part a little bit? Because we didn't.
we didn't touch on that.
No, not really.
See, that's why I didn't like it. No, yeah, we
well,
can
he
touch on
goes
it.
to 12.
Yeah.
To find the girl.
He goes to
and-
12, but not. He goes to find Lucy, or Lucy Gray. But he's a peacekeeper.
Yes.
He's like a grunt.
as a punishment.
Yeah,
Yeah. Put in the Peace Corps.
because he cheated.
Yep.
Which, when he put, just quick side tangent. When he put the rat poison in the thing, I was like, how? Like, they're gonna know, because like she puts it in the water.
You
It's
would-
like
You would think
the-
they'd have better technology to where like scanning foreign objects on her
well,
body.
it's
or
not even
something.
that. It's just like, it's like she kind of lucked out with the girl with tuberculosis drinking the water, because if like one of those kids just did it, then like they would have been like, oh, it's just the tuberculosis finally got her. But like the other kids, it was just like, why is that kid died? Why did that kid die?
Right.
It's like, and it kind of happens with the one. It's like, why would you even give her the powder, like the poison? Like I get,
Because
like,
he wanted her to win.
I know he wanted her to win, but like,
It'd be awkward.
it's
if
very obvious.
Wouldn't it be awkward if it just like unclaps in her pocket or whatever, and she just died from it?
That'd be a short movie.
Well,
But anyways, the third act, he goes to 12 as a grunt, and he tries to, he wants to find out if she's alive after she wins the games.
Oh, look, it's Sejanus again.
What? He's there.
He's in the plot again.
And then Lucy's there too. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then
he gets wrapped up in Sejanus's stupid rebellion plot.
See, like, and that's where I was, and this is a big reason why I'm like, this needed a second part, because that part, it's like, that felt so forced of like.
I liked how his solution was to shoot everyone. Like,
you know what that just reminded me of? That's just reminded me of
lady.
your fuck, marry, kill answer, where it's just kill the bad guy. Yeah,
shoot the opposition.
Yeah, no, it's like, because I think that would have been cool for the second movie though.
No,
like see the rebellion start, and then
like that would dampened. Be the climax of the second film. No,
that wouldn't have been the climax of the second film.
The inciting incident.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, okay, but we know the rebellion doesn't formulate until Katniss's time anyway, so what's the point? That's like a full 60 years, my guy. It doesn't get anywhere until 60 years later, where I spend a lot of time.
But, like, imagine if he was a part of...
This is Snow's villain origin story. He betrays his friend.
If he was a part of the rebellion for, like, a little while, though...
He betrays his friend, and that's more important.
Okay.
It's a villain origin story, okay?
Okay.
The girl ditches him. He betrays his friend. Girl ditches him.
Then he goes back.
I don't blame the girl, by the way. I like how he goofs up and said, "Yeah, I killed 3 people instead of 2."
Who was the third? Did you know? Like
Sejanus. Well, I mean, that's...
Is that implied that it's that?
Well, yeah, he didn't... Technically, he killed 4, right? Because Spruce died.
Which one's Spruce? How do you know the tributes' names, but you keep calling...
We just watched the movie.
I know we just watched it, but you know all the tributes' names, but
all
you still call...
All the tributes had weird names.
You call Lucy Gray just that girl. Like...
Lucy's not an interesting, weird Pan Am name. It's just Lucy.
Okay.
It's not like Lucretius over here.
All right, so what's the other one? He killed Spruce?
Yeah. So, like, Sejanus...
Which one was Spruce
Sejanus
again?
was talking to the ex-boyfriend, his girlfriend, and then the Spruce guy, who was running guns for him or whatever. Got him guns. They hanged him, too. That's all I'm saying.
It's the...
They hanged him alongside Sejanus. Okay.
I don't know if he got him killed, technically.
Well, yeah, he did. What do you mean? He definitely got him killed. Because he shot the girl, and then... Spruce killed the other guy. I didn't trust him anyway, he says. And then movie plot moves forward, and they all get hanged. So it's his fault.
Okay,
right?
Fine. Yeah, okay.
If he didn't betray his friend, they would have got away scot-free, and they would have gone to the north. So it's implied that Canada is not part of Pan Am, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because, like, in North America, where do you go north? Like, Greenland? Like, no, like, that's not habitable. You go to Canada, right?
I'm assuming that's what they mean.
I feel like there's, like, some interesting parallels there with, like, actual U.S. history. Like, Civil War times, kind of.
When did the Hunger Games... I mean, well, when did the Hunger Games come out? Because... Not the
like
movie.
2010.
Not the books.
The book was, like, 2010, I think.
Well, the movie came... The book was 2008. Wait,
yeah.
What?
Is that weird for you? Is that strange?
A little bit, honestly. No, I'm genuinely. That's a little odd, in all honesty. The reason why is because
was released in 1888.
Well, because I'll just say that the reason why I say this is because art definitely imitates the political landscapes of the time.
What was happening to that? It's actually an allegory for the Iraq War.
That's what I was thinking. If it was 2004, it's oh yeah, I could see them. The tensions are high.
Look out for a future episode on Star Wars where I tell you exactly why Star Wars is just an allegory for the Iraq War. But anyway.
Okay. Even before it came out? Even before the...
No, if you ever heard George Lucas's commentary, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, are you talking about the prequels?
I'm talking about the Star Wars in general.
Huh?
Okay, clearly we have to do an episode about it, but just think of it this way.
Am I
Endor was Vietnam. Duh.
Yeah.
And then the prequels, which he made after,
around the early 2000s,
that's what I was wondering, because
you made
US military exploits in the Middle
You
East.
made it sound like the first Star Wars movie was about the Iraq War, and I was
No.
like,
I
what?
meant the prequels.
Okay, and then I asked the prequels, and you go, no, all of Star Wars, and I was like, what? Okay.
Well, I thought it was inferred. I meant like
Okay,
the ones that
anyways.
came out around that time.
All right.
Duh.
Okay.
You can
Anyways.
see my full essay on the Star Wars episode, which we do on May the 4th.
Don't make promises.
We should though.
Oh. But I don't even know where we are.
We're describing the plot a little bit. I think it works because it rounds out Snow's story and then he doubles down in the like high bottoms, like that's the sound of snow falling, which I'm pretty sure doesn't make a sound, so that's a stupid comment. And then he's like, well, snow lands on top, which is true
that line.
because
That was a
have
cool
you ever
line.
seen snow underneath something? No. Unless you like cover up snow. Then why
with
would you do that?
snow.
Yeah, snow is under snow.
Well. Okay, this is getting into. All right.
I like the line readings. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. It's
They're good.
the whole rivalry with Peter Dinklage. This character was pretty good.
Speaking of Peter Dinklage, that death.
Yeah, not the greatest
Not-
death acting. He's like, oh, I've drank poison. I am dying now.
Like his arm, like over the chair, just like very obviously not limp. He's just like holding it. But
We didn't even say anything about Viola Davis's character.
she's
She's very mischievous. She's like,
she's trying to maybe a little too hard to be like, you know, when like people are
I
weird
felt like
and then
Rachel
there's people.
Zegler was trying a little bit too hard, if I'm being honest. She's got it all. She's the perfect girl. She can sing. She's got a southern accent. She like.
That's why I said everyone's just
like,
fine in
Maybe
this
you're
movie.
acting a little too good for this movie.
What, Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. It's like dial it back. You're acting at 11. Maybe you should dial it back.
Yeah.
For the
Okay, I get
premise
what
of
you're
this
saying
movie.
now. Yeah.
You're like overacting maybe.
That's what I was gonna say about Viola Davis. I feel like Viola Davis
She's
is like
just so quirky and says
Yeah.
things like plants are determined to grow.
like
Like, yes.
I don't
Oh,
know.
remember when they referenced the plant called Katniss?
what?
And they're like, they name dropped it.
That to me felt like
Whoa!
that to
they
me
referenced the other thing.
that to me felt like oddly, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound weird when I say it, but to me it felt like the JFK name drop in Oppenheimer, where it was like I definitely feel like
small time Massachusetts governor named John F. Kennedy.
yeah, it was just like that's obviously there for like the audience to be like,
Oh.
yeah.
So the
But
audience
it's
can be like.
oh.
So the audience can be like,
Oh, I think we even we did the exact same thing when
Oppenheimer came out.
out, where we're like, like we're making fun of it, like, and that's what we did here. We're
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, Katniss is a plant. So.
Yeah, but
Which you can eat apparently.
I
I didn't know that.
didn't know that either. But
Like, is it like a
Um,
potato? Like what? Is it like an onion thing? That's what it looked like.
I'm assuming it's like a leek or an onion. It looks like
It's like something only poor
Yeah.
people eat. I guess.
I don't know. But
And
how
in
would
the
you,
mountains.
or I should say, to kind of wrap this up, what would you, where would you put this in like the ranking of the movies you have seen?
Well, I've only seen 3 of them.
Well, yeah, you know, it's perfect.
I don't know. I feel like they're not even.
I feel like I put Catching Fire, then I think this one might be the weakest out of the 3 I've seen.
Really?
I haven't seen Mockingjay, which I hear are not, like, that's not great, but
I remember reading the Mockingjay book, trying to understand what the author was trying to describe was like solving a Rubik's Cube underwater, in space
Damn,
on a
okay.
different plane of reality. It made no sense. It
Mhm.
really didn't. And I'm a good reader, okay? You know, I might sound stupid, but in grade school, I always did well on the reading tests. Okay. I got like
Okay.
high marks every time. You remember the ones you had to do on the computer?
Yeah.
You don't remember those? I always got like I'd be like, what was your score? And like, I don't remember what the high score was. Like, I got like, 14,
Wasn't it like 10?
1700?
It was like 10 or
something.
5 or 10, I remember.
Well, it was definitely like something to like 2000 or something, the way we did it, I think.
okay.
And I'd say like, yeah, I got like 1,700, and then someone else would be like, oh, I got like 985. I'm like,
Huh?
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And then like I try not to make them feel bad or anything, and like, and then they're like, yeah, I didn't really try. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So like reading that book and not understanding
need to
what
watch-
the hell she was talking about.
Well, maybe
like,
if you watch the movies.
I feel like she rushed that one because they already made the first movie or something, and they were trying to get it
the
out.
first movie came out in like 2012, and
I don't think she wrote the third book by 2012.
I think she did.
Well, I think she rushed on that one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mockingjay came out in 2010.
Really?
August 24th, 2010.
So she did like book,
Yes.
back to back.
Yes.
Maybe she should have taken 2 years on the last one. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. It was literally like a year. First Hunger Games was released in September 14th of 2008. Second one, September 1st of 2009. Third one, August 24th of 2010. So they were all like less than a year.
It's quite the turnaround.
So, but
I don't know. I like this little prequel because I think
I thought it was good. I thought it
it was very entertaining actually. To be honest with you.
It was a fun watch. It's
like I said, there's like
I just have some gripes with it. I think
there's
the
like
pacing.
4 scenes that really took me out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I just think it's the pacing. The pacing of at least the third act was not great.
I felt like I was
And-
fine until like halfway through the third act, and then I got like antsy.
Yeah. It just the pacing of it, the length.
Well, I think part of it is like
And-
after the game's over, you don't really know where the story's going either.
Yeah.
So that adds into the antsy factor.
I hope I don't know anyone who's read the book, and I would love if you've read the book, let us know.
Let us
But
know.
let's
I
well,
like
just
seeing how in
is
the third
this-
act he totally just goes unhinged and he becomes evil. I like that. It was good.
I don't know though, but like he's going to leave. Like it literally feels like his whole villain turn is just she left me. Oh man, she's
He's
against
salty
me.
about it.
And then he just like becomes a villain. Like okay,
And then the Mockingjays are literally mocking him.
what?
What?
Yeah. No,
I always felt like the talking bird thing was like a stupid plot device. Because it's like amplifying your negative thoughts or something. It's like, okay.
all right.
Because the birds are repeating it.
Whoa. But
They're tormenting my mind. It's just birds, dude. Like,
get over it.
I also like how the birds sync up perfectly so you can hear a voice and it's not just like
It's just, like yeah,
'cause,
it's
like,
overlaid.
there's like 13 different birds, right? And like they all start at the start of the like there's no one overlapping. Like all the birds are on point.
Yeah.
No bird starts the sentence like halfway through the other one. They're all
Yeah.
synced up.
Well,
They're
that's
coordinated.
birds for you, but yeah,
Birds
no,
aren't
I think
real, especially in Pan Am.
I guess
Pan-
not.
Pan Am?
I guess not.
They're
But
not real there.
they really aren't. But
They literally are government spies.
that was the funniest thing where it's like it's a failed experiment, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, really feeding into
That's
the
a reference to a thing from the other book.
What? But you know, yeah, this movie's fun. If
We
you
didn't see like the skin stealers that were like in the tunnels under the Capitol in the third book or whatever the hell those were.
I don't know, man.
Like I said, the way she was describing it I was like, what are these?
I don't know,
Like
but
lizard people?
I guess
It was very strange.
But no, yeah, this movie was fun. At least I'll give it that. It was fun. Have a few gripes, but you know, it's a solid time.
Man, Lucy Gray was really helpless in the arena though. It's like, dude, haven't you ever like waved a stick around? Like, come on. She was like helpless.
Maybe she didn't want. She's a pacifist. It sounds like.
I don't know.
But then again, she poisons like 3 people. But
By accident. Well,
one of them not. One of them really not. But anyways, it's yeah, go see this if you are a fan of the Hunger Games, honestly, and
even if you're not a fan, you might get sucked in.
you might have fun time.
You might
have
get
fun time.
sucked in.
But yeah, next week we have Thanksgiving. We have Thanksgiving in a few days. We're gonna try to be on next week.
I think in particular, piquing my interest is next weekend. Napoleon, obviously.
Yes. Napoleon
And the
comes up.
Thanksgiving slasher film, honestly.
Man, we're just skipping over. Maybe we could squeeze in the holdovers a little bit, if we could.
Maybe we could talk about the holdovers and like Saltburn later or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Honestly, which even though it's like, I think there's literally for like, for like the next few weeks, we have pretty much just movie after movie after movie coming out. So we'll try.
They're trying to cram them in.
We'll try to find time for that. Yeah, because after Napoleon, maybe, because I think the Bike Riders got pushed. Godzilla -1, which I know you want to see.
Are you a Godzilla fan?
I have 15 of their films, or 15 Godzilla films on Blu-ray.
I haven't watched
so.
Shin Godzilla all the way through because I was like, "What the hell is this?"
It's Shin Godzilla, but
it was so weird.
We might have a week there where we can catch up. I can
give you my master Godzilla lore.
All right. Yeah, we could do maybe a little catch up on like 2 weeks from now, and we'll talk about them. But next week, I think we'll do Napoleon next week.
Oh yeah.
Napoleon and maybe Thanksgiving.
A smaller segment for Thanksgiving, probably.
Yeah. So check us out then next week when we're doing that. You can follow me on Letterboxd at _filmworker_.
Trevzilla on Letterboxd for me. You
I'll
can see my detailed reviews where I write too much.
Too long, didn't read. That is my only response to when you say reviews.
Everyone listening to this
you did that.
Too long, didn't listen.
Yeah. But you can follow if you do listen to this podcast, you can follow us on Spotify at The Fine Cut, as well as on YouTube on the channel After the Credits. There you can also listen to our other show, Relax and Rewind there. Give us a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Do all the good old
I want to see
YouTube thing.
Comment on YouTube is like, actually the book is
the book is actually
President Snow is characterized as and like give me a full essay, please. I'll read it.
Yeah, we'll read. Yeah, if someone can send us a full essay on
if you
why
disagree with if you're like me and disagree with Sean that like making it as 2 movies would be dumb. Or like,
wow.
I think it worked better as 1 movie. I want to hear some feedback.
All right. And then you can also follow us on Instagram at _afterthecredits_ to get alerted for any new things that might be coming up, any schedule updates, or Trevor wants to start doing some movie posters. So maybe check that out there.
Some artwork, maybe.
Yeah.
Be the first to check it out. No promises when that will ever come out, but
it might.
It's in the works. It's in the old brain banks.
Yeah.
It'll come out soon.
It might, but yeah. Check us out next week. And I think that's it.
Anyway, bye.